Hey, what is up, guys? Hopefully you're having a freaking awesome day. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make your meal planning for the week fast and efficient. Now, I know how many people tell me, there's so many people actually tell me that meal planning is so boring, it takes so long, and I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be the case, especially if you're using our food planner 3000, our meal planner 3000. So if you want to get access to this and you don't have it, just reach out to me. We'll come up, we'll go over how this thing works, and I'll send it over to you for a limited time. I will be eventually making this in its own product, so you're going to have to pay for it eventually. But if you have this, you won't. And if you struggle with meal planning, prepping, not sure what to eat, how much to eat, whatever, this thing solves all that. It's so simple. My 7-year-old was able to figure out and plan her meals for the week in 24 minutes. I have it video, maybe 30. Actually, I had to explain some stuff to her, like what calories are and things. She's 7, so I had to teach her some stuff. But for you struggling with this, I can show you how to do it all and relatively quick. Now, when it comes to planning your week, there's often the struggle. It seems like this yo-yo back and forth of how much do I need to eat, and finagling the numbers and doing that can be challenging. So without this, you can use my Fitness Pal and use the same exact thing, but I'm going to share with you with this because it's far faster. Okay, so for us to start in my program, we give you 2 numbers. The first one's protein, second one is calories. And so we're going to go through, and being proteins typically is the harder one to hit first. It's easier to hit calories than it is to hit your protein. We're going to start by figuring out approximately how much protein we need to eat from our protein sources, the main protein source in each meal. So you can see here at the top, I have my meals selected from our outputs and inputs and all these cool things. Okay, so I've already taken that part out of it. So what I'm going to do first, I go, okay, hey, I've got protein. I need 120 grams for the day, which means each meal needs to be roughly 40 grams of protein if I'm eating a balanced meal per each meal. Sometimes you want to eat all your protein in one meal. It's kind of how I prefer to do it, but you don't have to do it my way. You could do it your way. Most people prefer to have it balanced, so we're going to do that. Okay, so to start, all I'm going to do is go, okay, each meal needs to be roughly 40. I'm going to make the majority of my protein from my meal come from the protein source. Makes sense, right? So if I needed the majority of the fat come from a meal, I'd probably pick something that's in the fat category. Not rocket science. So I'm going to do 1 serving of chocolate protein powder. I already have that set up to make the protein powder that's in my supplement store. It's 25, 2, and 2. Okay, so that gets me 25. I'd probably get close with some other things, but we'll see. Shrimp, I'm just going to put in a random number. Let's try 150. Gives me 30. Perfect. I could probably make up the rest with the other things. Chicken breast, let's try 150. Cool. Now I made over. You know what? I'm going to keep it the same. That way I don't have to make up so much ground in the morning. Okay, so I'm already at 100 grams of protein with 1 scoop of protein powder, 150 grams of shrimp, and 150 grams of chicken breast. How cool is that? Next, I go, okay, each meal, roughly, if my targets are 1650, which I just put some random number in there. So it could be yours. It might not be. I have no freaking clue, which is why when we reach out to me, we kind of go over some stuff for you to see what the heck you need to eat. All right. So let's do 1 serving of peanut butter. It's 32 grams. Cool. Strawberries. Let's say it's 100 grams, and I'm not going to put salad mix in it because that's freaking weird. So I'm just going to choose to not have a vegetable in that meal. Or I might do a greens drink, something like that if I were to care. Okay, so far, this meal is 350 calories and 133 grams plus whatever this is, 28 grams, I think, per scoop. Cool. I'm going to keep that just like that. Okay, now if I wanted to add something else in, maybe some cucumber or something, I totally could. But let's see how the rest of the day shakes up. Avocado. 1 avocado mini cup, which I need to add to this actually, is 90. Oops, excuse me. It's 90 calories. So I'm going to put in there as much of this as I can. Close enough. Okay, to give me 90 calories because that's how much 1 avocado mini cup is 90 calories, I believe. Okay, so I'm going to do that. 140 grams of avocado. Next. Each meal needs to be roughly 500 and some change calories. With my first one being kind of light, I get to eat more in the other 2. If I want to eat more, I could add more peanut butter. I could add some oats to it, whatever it might be. And I'll show you how to do that with this at the end in just a second. So let's go 200. We're already at that 500 amount. I'll keep it like it is, and I'll do 100 grams here. So all of this is 590 grams, which is quite a bit of food, 623 calories, which means I have 400 calories left for the end of the day. How cool is that? I'm going to do the same avocado mini cup here. So I'm going to make it 140. Red potato, let's say the same amount. And fajitas, the same amount. Cool, same amount, more calories, just over my food amount. Darn it, I need to get rid of some. Or let's say I do this one instead of, let's see, avocado. I like fajitas with that too. Shoot, what if I changed, as you can tell, I like avocado a lot. What if I changed, I'm going to hurry and pause this, I'm going to switch these around. Back here, we got ground beef, coconut oil, I'm not going to do that. Red potato, fajitas, and with this meal, I'm going to do, wrap it in some lettuce. So I'm going to go down here and just put some lettuce that I'm just going to have in this meal. Just this thing doesn't quite do that for me. You know what I mean? So I'll do 50, whatever. All right. So how are we doing for the day? 1537. I need more. Cool. What else can I eat? This meal already has a lot of weight. This one doesn't have that much. So I'm going to do, would I put anything on here? Maybe some ketchup. Not enough. Cool. I'll eat more potatoes here. Still not enough. And let's see. Here we are. Green's good. I'm over on my protein. Cha-ching. So you see how we just start adjusting these things. And in 6 minutes, I've already planned 1 day's worth of food that I'm going to eat on day 1, 3, and 5. So I don't have so much variety. It takes me forever to make my food, but I don't have no variety to where it's not the same thing. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and I'll show you how quick it can be. I'm going to take the same measurements here. I'm going to get rid of salad mix because that's weird. 132, but bananas have more calories in them. So I'm going to go with like a 70 calorie one. Cool, 390. Maybe it's a little light, and I can obviously add more if I wanted to. All right, let's hit our protein. So protein, we want to hit that in every meal. Now we know if we hit 150 here and 150 here, we're already going to go over. It's kind of nice. So we're going to go a little bit lighter on the protein here. Let's say we do, or we have chicken in both meals here. What if made this one shrimp instead? So now I'm eating different meats, different days. You know what I mean? Sometimes people don't want to eat the same meat. 110, I could probably deal with that. Same avocado mini cup because I love that sucker. I'm going to punch that there, punch that in there. How we doing? 113, still got some more. White rice. Each meal needs to be roughly 500 calories. The first one being kind of light, I can go over a little bit. So let's go 70. That meal is now 580. Cool. And I want to go 100 grams of fajitas again, which is quite a bit. 685. Solid. That means this meal has 300 calories left. What can we do? Let's go 100 and let's go 100. 50. I got 100 calories left to do something. So if I go 100 with this, means I can probably get away with 180. We like to be within 20. So let's say 170. Ooh, yeah. So a little high on protein. So if our goal was to hit protein right on, what could I do? I could take a little bit off here. Only take more off. Like to be within 2. I'm actually going to keep this at 100. I'm going to drop this one down a little bit. Cool. So now I have 100 calories left. You see how we just keep going back and forth with this. Something that contains a lot of carbohydrates and fats, but not a lot of not a lot of protein, is rice. So let's say we go 90. Bam, now we're within 20, and it's over by 0.2. Whatever, it's the same. 0.3, it's the same thing. Cool. So you see how quick it is when you're planning ahead. You start with your protein first. Then you go, do you want balanced meals in each thing as far as the total amount of calories? And you can see in this one, light, heavy, heavy. This one, light, heavy, heavy. We can easily change this up if we wanted to have a heavier breakfast by going maybe instead of peanut butter and just 70 grams of banana, maybe go 180 here, and we can add in the fat section some, actually we already had peanut butter into it, excuse me. We can add in maybe some strawberries too. And again, we're just putting it down here. On my Fitness Pal, you'd put it at the same top spot you had before. And instead of having so much rice, I would take off some rice here. And what do you know? Now this meal here is, let's add a little bit to this one. More, goodness. Here we are. So now we're both in the green. And now this meal's heavy. This one, these are all fairly balanced, but this one being a little bit heavier than the other one. This one has 33 more calories in it. So no big deal. You see how we can do this stuff fairly quickly, which is awesome. Because we're starting with our protein. Then we're asking ourselves, do we want, or really you ask yourself, do you want balanced meals? Yes or no? If you want all balanced, cool, then that means every meal needs to have roughly 40 grams of protein in this case, and roughly 570 calories in each meal. And then from there, you just work around. You get to play. Keep in mind, though, that the amount of grams of food you're going to eat is pretty important, too. Okay, as an example, 610 grams of food is about 1.25 pounds of food, 1.25 pounds, roughly, actually. So it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit of food. And that's not a bad thing. It just is, right? And so, but if you're so stuffed you hate life, is there other ways you can get this many calories? Yeah, for sure. You can absolutely not eat so much carbohydrates and vegetables and eat more fats and thicker carbohydrates. Because check this out, and then I'll hop off here. You see how 220 grams of of red potato, is 319. To get 319 calories of rice, it's not even 100. See that? So you can eat half of the amount of food, if you will, as far as grams go, and get roughly the same amount of calories. Pretty sweet. So that's what I like about this. This is why I made the Food Planner 3000. I'm able to see a lot of things. I'm able to see the amount of food I'm eating, the proteins, fats, carbs, calories, all that stuff. But I'm also able to see the volume of food I'm eating. So in one meal, eating 610 grams of food, which is roughly a pound's 454 grams, right? So it's a 1.25 pounds is quite a bit for some people to stomach. So if you want to get more calories for less weight, you would just change some things around, right? And that's through just a little bit of know-how, also a little bit of trial and error if you don't have the know-how. So that being said, hopefully you found this valuable and able to use this. If you have any questions, please let me know, especially if you want to get access to this. I am giving it away for just a little bit of time, and I would love to be able to share it with you before I make it into a full-fledged product, which I start selling and all these things. But I want to have a couple more people test it to see what they think. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon.